All right, let's talk about Scary Movie, aka Scary Movie 6, aka The Return of the Waynes. I'm gonna be honest, this movie was not good, but it wasn't absolutely trash. You know, it's funny. I think parody movies fell off in a big way because one, I think people honestly just stop trying, even including the Waynes. And what I mean by that, I mean by this. It got to a point where it just became stupid. Like it just became just nonsensical jokes coming at you verbally or through action that made no sense. It almost felt like there's no plot at all. And if there is a plot, it's just there's no rhyme and reason to anything. And I get it. You're trying to make fun of the movie that you're parodying, but there's ways to do it that's not so obvious, and there's ways to do it that's not so on the nose or corny. Like for example, I seen The Naked Gun when it had came out last year, and again, same problem. Like it's almost as if like you're not really trying to tell a joke. Like jokes have setups, jokes have a build up to it, jokes have a rhyme and they have a reason. But when stuff is just happening just for the sake of it, you lose that sort of like punchline. You know what I'm saying? And that was a big problem here with this new Scary Movie. And what's crazy is they had jokes in there that was actually really funny. Like there's a few times where I actually laughed kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? Including this scene that I'm showing right now. The whole consonant cameo and I forget Marlon Wayne's freaking character, man. But Marlon Wayne's character, doing he's a streamer now. It's hilarious. Apparently he's been in high school for 25 years. He never graduated. And stuff like that. That was funny. I definitely would say Shawn Wayans, out of all of the cast that came back, I would say Shawn Wayans was definitely the funniest character. And I did like Anna Faris, like her backstory, her, making fun of the whole Halloween thing, you know what I'm saying, with her trying to prepare for Ghostface just in case he ever comes back. That was hilarious. And like I said, they parodied a lot of movies, but they mainly focused on Scream. And I think that they low-key shouldn't have done that. I think they should have made this, of course you had jokes of other movies, but I think they should have made that more about just give an overall blend and not have this be so much about Scream again. And I get it. I mean, Scream did come out just last year, the seventh one. And that's how this franchise, started, of course. But I don't know. I think if they would have maybe actually done more jokes, like, for instance, they had a parody about Smile. Maybe have a little bit more of this movie be about making fun of Smile. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that would have maybe helped them out to have better and more fresher jokes, because this movie felt extremely out of touch, man. Like it felt like it was trying too hard to be relevant to what's going on. And then in some ways, in terms of the actual jokes, like jokes about weed, jokes about penises and vaginas and sex, just felt so arbitrary. Almost as if like, are you making this movie for adults, or are you making this movie for like kids, like 12-year-olds and like 13-year-olds? And then if you are, you barely even make it about them, because honestly, kids are growing up pretty fast these days. Like, so it's like even these jokes will seem a bit very extremely immature and corny, man. I feel like, or I think like, the Waynes, like Marlon Wayans is 53, right? Hell, Regina Hall, even though she still look good, she's 55. I feel like when you get older, especially when you're rich, so you completely out the loop of what's really happening out here in the streets, I feel like you're just out of touch with reality. Like you live in a whole different reality, and this was case in point with this movie, man. It like a lot of these jokes was just way too outdated. It's like and even with the movies that they were making fun of, it's like it was half-assed. Like you're making fun of it in ways that it's almost like you're not even trying for real. And it's so predictable. Like, of course you're gonna make fun of the sunken place scene, and oh, of course you're gonna make fun of weapons and the kids running around the streets, and then, oh, let me guess, they're gonna get run over by a car. Like, it's so 1999 or 1995, whenever the first one came out, second one came out 2001. Like, it's so that it's felt like it was still stuck in that year. Like, take the Powers trilogy, right? Which is a parody of the James Bond movies. A lot of people may not realize that. Reason why they may not realize that is because the way it was done. Like, this was a, a brand new character with his own story, and all the jokes weren't on the nose about James Bond. Like, no, this is a reimagining of James Bond, making fun of the character and setting everything up like a James Bond movie, but we're going to make this a straight up slapstick ridiculous comedy where the jokes have rhyme and reason. I think that might have been what the Wayne's brothers low key should have did with this one. I think that would have helped it out a lot more. And again, I know that's just stick to make it like the way they did back in the day, but maybe it would have served them better to get out of what killed the parody movie franchise. And if you're gonna bring it back, improve it, make it new, make it better, do things differently. Don't make it the same. Especially if you're gonna stay stuck in the year of where you made it. In terms of the jokes and everything. So, like I said, it had parts in there that made me laugh. It wasn't complete trash, but honestly, I can't see myself watching this again. If you haven't seen it yet, you might as well wait till it's on streaming. And even then, just watch it if you're bored.